You thought that you knew everything there was to know about the corruption of Clarence Thomas, didn't you? Well, no, there's always more hiding. You turn over a rock and you'll find more utter corruption. And we have an example of it. Senate Finance Committee Chair Ron Wyden revealed just yesterday that Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas had failed to disclose even more flights aboard a private jet owned by Republican mega donor Harlan Crow than were previously known. I'm gonna give you the details in just a sec, but I want you to think about that. We have been through now like a year and a half of the reports of this. We've had the Supreme Court create their ethics guidelines that they're gonna volunteer to abide by or whatever. And despite all of this, he decided not to just get out in front of it and say all of them. Why leave more breadcrumbs for HuffPost or ProPublica or Ron Wyden or whatever to track down? Why would you do that? You do that for one of two reasons. Maybe you can think of others, but I have two hypotheses. One is that it's a pragmatic thing. He literally can't even remember all the trips he took with Harlan Crow. He would love maybe to disclose them all so he could get past it, but he's gone on so many private jet flights, so many mega yacht voyages that he doesn't even remember what all of them are. That's one explanation. The other is, and this is gonna be from his point of view, F you, I don't care, I can do whatever I want. You can never get rid of me. I have this position until the end of my life. I've already been paid, I'm gonna continue to be paid, so all of you can go F yourself. That one's a little bit more crass, but I think it's also equally likely to be the actual reason. I think that's what he's thinking. But let's get into the details. So in a letter to an attorney representing Harlan Crow, Ron Wyden demanded travel and financial records related to Crow's super yacht, the Michaela Rose, and the relationship between the justice and his billionaire benefactor. Crow's legal team has repeatedly avoided providing such records, but Wyden said that they could help determine whether the real estate mogul claimed business deductions on personal trips aboard luxury craft, including those with Thomas, to evade taxes. That is a pretty clever way to make it like more salient, I guess. And make it seem more, I don't need that for me personally. I mean, sure, I wanna know if he broke the law or whatever. I think we deserve to know how utterly corrupt a member of the Supreme Court is, and who the hell is this billionaire to be like, no, I'm just not gonna tell you about the millions of dollars I have transferred to this guy in presence and experiences. Apparently, again, he's a billionaire, so he can, under our system of government, do literally anything he wants. And the right, despite claiming to be populist, will do literally nothing about it. But just bear that in mind. We're gonna give you a little more details. Customs and Border Protection records revealed that the justice and his wife, Virginia Thomas, Ginny, who you've heard a little bit about, took a round trip between Hawaii and New Zealand in November 2010 on Mr. Crow's private jet. So just another fun trip, Hawaii and New Zealand. Maybe they did the Lord of the Rings hiking tour or something. It was lots of fun. It probably cost a lot of money, but they didn't have to pay for it, despite making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Totally needless corruption, that's what they're doing there. So Ron Wyden also said, on several occasions I've asked directly how many times Justice Thomas traveled aboard the Michaela Rose and private jets paid for by Mr. Crow, and whether Mr. Crow deducted the cost of these particular trips on tax filings. These should not be difficult questions to ask. The possibility that Mr. Crow may have lavished secret gifts on a sitting Supreme Court justice and then impermissibly reduced his taxable income by millions of dollars with impunity requires legislative scrutiny. And I really hope that they investigate this. They've opened an inquiry. I hope that they maintain control of the Senate, because if they don't, then this is probably gone, and take control of the House so we can get investigations going on both houses. I would love to see, like AOC filed for Thomas's impeachment. Todd Anderson reminds us, we talked about that at the time. I wanna see AOC involved in the investigation at the House level into Clarence Thomas and other corrupt justices on the Supreme Court. So more reasons to be excited about the election, not just the presidential race, as important as it is, the Senate and the House as well. We need to maintain and get control by the Democrats so they can start investigating some of this. And I will leave you, I just wanna remind you, I said it earlier, but he gets into this. The Michaela Rose is a mega yacht. It's a vehicle the likes of which likely none of you have been on. I've never been on anything like it. And the going story apparently is that Clarence Thomas can't even remember how many expansive world voyages he took on a vehicle that if you or I were to go on it, it would be like a once in a lifetime thing that we would remember for the rest of our life. For him, it's just a weekend, man. I can't be bothered to keep records. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.